Hello, guys. Welcome back to Moba India Championship Season 1. And this is 9 on the mic alongside Bolty on the day 15 around 4. And I know you guys have a great Holy. And I'm sure you guys have been waiting for this match since a few days. You have been anticipating for this match. And so did we. So on the first match for tonight, we have the Maythays Venoms versus, and on the other side, it will be right on the screen, which I do not. I think Bolty will help me recall it by. I'm sure
Yeah, of
he'll do that.
course. Of course. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Moba Hub Championship. And yes, the red side is going to be the Meatay Vanishers, and on the blue side, we have Blaze Squad. Just for you, just
Oh,
for you.
I said, I just said, Maythay something else. But anyway,
Oh.
guys, the giveaway is still on, and we are going to go straight to the drafting as we are going in. Tell me, Boldy, I want to know your these days Granger being one of the most banned hero. Like at least that's what I've been noticing. You have been in many tournaments. So is there like a tournament meta going on right now?
Yeah, there is definitely a tournament meta that's been going on, but usually the bans are one sided towards the Fanny, the Matilda, and also like the
Mhm.
Jujin. And Granger, not so much because they usually give this hero, even though he's very strong, he people don't really ban it unless they have like an opponent that they have to respect. Like we got IG
Mhm.
and Aaron the creator. He was so good on Granger that they have to ban his Granger. So with that being said, we're looking at the drafting so far. We're seeing the Lucas, we're seeing the Badang. That's a good band. Joy, Granger, Julian, there are very valid bands, but we're seeing a Xavier there, which is kind of weird on the side of Blaze squad. With that being said, look at that. They're already taking out the
Oh.
Harriet, which is very strong in this meta, of course. And picking the first pick. I mean, it's good if you want to grab the gold lane burst potential for the late game as soon as possible. But look at the side of what Mite Vanishers here. They're just going straight for the late game burst as well with the Sicilian as well as the Suyu there for that jungle. Just they're just gonna have them reassured of their jungling.
Yes, I'm sure of that. And with the pick of Sicilian, what I'm really looking forward is a mage that will really go forward and do the initiation, because we know that like Harit can do both, right? Flexibility pick can go mid as well. So is wait, yes, Harit is going for mage. Wait, why did I confuse myself with Harit and um Purple and Koopa there?
Indeed. And yes, the evolved Bolty is here and back.
Yeah.
And here we are. What did I miss? Two bands, which
You
is definitely meta already. Yeah. Anything,
yeah.
Nine?
No, I was just saying Halo's pick. I mean, I have is been one of my favorite in this past few days, especially the sustaining. And with that vengeance, I dare not to go near him. So they might have a trouble especially in initiating against Hylos, having in the front line. So yeah, I think the pick is quite balanced from the side of the Vanishers.
Yeah, that is very true. But Hylos, usually in like a higher tier of tournaments, they don't really pick this vengeance anymore. Instead, they're going for more sustain with it, which is the revitalize. It synergizes so well with the glorious pad because the glorious pathway heals Hylos when he's in the glorious pad, right? So top it off with that
Yeah.
revitalize. It's just straight up over healing. Even a dominance couldn't do anything. It's just the Hylos keeping the heal up with the thickened blood that is his passive. So yes, look at the side of Blaze. They're already having those really good picks. They do have the Jujin for, poking down the Sicilian, trying to kind of like, like bait out the Sicilian. Absolutely.
Mhm.
But on the side of Mite Vanishers here, they're actually picking the Mincitar, which is like a response to the Harriet because Harriet main damage is the Chrono Dash. And if you pop your uh the ultimate of the Mincitar inside the Zaman Force, Harriet is just a
Mhm.
sitting duck. He's useless, and he's just gonna get bursted down. So this pick on the side of what Mite Vanishers, this Mincitar is very valid here.
Yeah, I mean, see, being one of the engager, especially from the side of, from the red side, having that jungler who will always go force in, who might be a possible shot caller,
Mhm.
and having a backup of Mincetar, I think that could be, cherry on top for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Backup. The jungler so far, he's gonna be, having quite a time in the jungle because Asuyu, a level 3 is basically where he gets the power spike because his
Mm-hmm.
skills don't need that level 4 spike to get the third skill.
Mm-hmm.
So having that third skill just level 3 there is just so much potential for Asuyu to just clear out the jungle and proceeds to ganking the gold lane or the EXP. So here we're
Mm-hmm.
seeing, wow, we're actually seeing a Rome as a Franco. I'm not really sure about this Franco because he can be easily interrupted by the Jujin because the Jujin keeps picking up things. And, anything that knocks you up is basically a good stun, just canceling out the Bloody Hunt, which is the ultimate of the Franco. So uh, I don't really like that Franco, to be honest. And looking
Mm-hmm.
at the side of Blaze here, they're gonna go for the jungle definitely, but looking at the Franco, they're not gonna be using those heroes that can, like, the main counter is like the lockdown. So instead they're gonna go for something else. And oh, there we go, the Hanzo might be the one to actually kite out the Bloody Hunt right here.
Yeah, for sure. I was hoping to have that Sissy on the ground, on the arena, and so along with that Hanzo, I think Cecilia might have a difficult time, uh, in getting that farm. But a Mia pick at the end. What's your take on that?
Oh my, oh my. Am I saying a rank match here? Because Mia
Yeah, it looks.
is.
Yeah, I was like, wait, this looked like meringue. Yeah, I was about to say that because all the pigs, right? It's
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. I think I feel like I'm in a rank match. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
I mean, it's a best of one series. I'm pretty sure still. We're in the season one, round 4, day 15. So if we're not getting that best of 3 matches, I mean, these opponents are like, they're very, very wild on those picks. Like the Mia itself.
Hmm.
I mean, this Mia is definitely going to be struggling against the Harriet, even though he have the
Oh,
Moon
for
Eclipse
sure.
that could be, stunning the Harriet. But the Harriet, don't forget, he has the Purify. So once he get the Zaman Force, even though he has that the Moonlight Eclipse or something that can just go invincible
Hmm.
like this, Harriet will
Hmm.
still, sustain with a bit of the Chrono Dash over here. But look at both the drafts
Hmm.
looking quite nice. But on the side of Mite Vanishers, they have to do a little bit more so that they can kind of counter pick wise or counterize these side of Blaze Squad. So Blaze Squad, they actually
Hmm.
have a decent draft of this one, I presume. And
Yes, we are in the first match of the night, and this is it for the final call for both the teams. It is they have to pave their way out to this round. This will be do or die for them. So let's hope that the best one will win this match. And also, do those who are watching at the moment, make sure that you hit that like button and also share with your friends for the giveaway. And yeah, a lot of I know there's a lot going on right now in the mid lane. Look at that, Volty. Franco is doing some kind of hook already.
yeah, like, even though that's a hook, we still have that butterfly lady that's gonna be picking you up left to right. As you can see, she's gonna keep doing that. And look at that, he's gonna pick the Franco up. The Franco won't be able to do anything because the hit rate of the hook is quite hard. It's more like a 50-50, or I should say a 40-60, because it's kind of hard to land the hooks unless you're a mathematician and you just know how to calculate where the people are gonna be going, and you just have that presumably
Mm.
a foresee on
Oh,
this. But oh, topside.
yeah, something's happening, Volty.
No, whoa. We're actually seeing some pickups going on here. It seems like strikes are gonna go for that initiation, level 4, and also a first blood on the side of the Vanishers right here. And so far, I'm like presumably saying that the Vanishers are not, in up to their picks, but for the early game, they
Mhm.
do have the Suyu for the burst potential. So yeah, they'll have that
Mhm.
early game very nicely for them. It's only up to the Franco to just
Oh,
be in the bushes here. He's just going for more. He want to do Kamado Abikiri there. The Shadow Hunt takes down the Franco. And with that being said, that's both 1-1 trade on both sides.
That's an early kill of give and take for both team. But look at
Nope.
that, Martin's going in full. Oh, that was a clean kill for him. I mean, Ceci against Star is something that I would not like. I would not go against. I
Yep.
don't think Ceci was a good pick for Minstar though.
I mean, it really depends because I feel like the CC is definitely winning on the lane, but he just overextended there. Because CC, even though he can be inside, she can be inside the Gloria, the whatever the King's Calling, she can just walk out because she has mobility. Even the Yo-Yo Blitz itself, like the passive will be up there giving her that extra movement speed. She can just basically, like walk away out of the ultimate because she won't be able to use like the bouncy thing that she used, but still again, she has a lot of movement speed. Unless Mincetar locks her down, it's gonna be really bad. Oh wait, going for more?
Wait, the damage is already coming in from Cecile in there, but Sama is going in.
Yeah, going for more over here. Glorious Bad Bean Unit. Trike's gonna get that turtle once again, but don't forget the Sama here is just trying to do something, but he's still recoiled because he's losing a lot of HP. But there we go, Vortex securing the kill on the Suyu. Right now, it's gonna be an extra 3 kills on the side of Blaze, squad.
And while we're having that intense fight at bot lane, we are seeing 1v1 here on the top with the MM. It seems attention is, tilted towards the bottom. The priority seems to be quite straight, but I think right now they really have to go either mid or gold because the tension will continue in the XP lane. But yeah, the forces, they really need to get there. Bolty.
There's more fight going on. Trikes might fall here because Sama has that bite of the ninja himself. And there we go. Trike falling towards the hands of Sama once again. Another kill on the side of Blaze squad. And also, if we're looking at this Mia here, she's going for the Rose Gold. That is pretty much applicable against laning against a Harith, but she's taking a Lethal Ignition here. I don't really like a Lethal Ignition on the Mia. Instead, if she goes with the Electro Charge, that could make sustainability at the same time, movement speed, and basically just have that something to kite around. But it seems like 3 of these are actually kind of gank for a potential gank on the top side here.
Yeah, Mia at the moment is playing really passive, knowing that she's going to get sandwiched with the team coming up for backup. At the same time, we will see an rotation probably, but the hook is going on the bot lane. Bolty Martin's getting hooked.
Yeah, Vortex gonna get killed over here. Sama getting more kills on the Franco. This is what I was talking about. Nobody has on the side of Mita. Look at double kill for Sama once again. The ninja himself is gonna be the one devouring the souls of these Mia instead. Still gonna go for more of those fights here. But Mia having that Rose Gold is kind of working out because she just have the Inspire popped out, just sustaining everything. She might not have the damage yet, but having that extra sustainability to just make sure that you're still in the game. Calling for the late game potential. If Mia gets the late game, there's a high possibility and chance that Team Mate Vanishers can actually do it. But more fight. Trikes over here, trying to do a little bit more. But look at that, the turtle fight definitely up again, and another turtle on the side of Vanishers once again.
I think the pressure they're giving into Martin again.
Yeah, pretty much.
Falling.
Look at that King's Calling being dropped again. Sama's gonna go for this dash. Look at this. Yeah, just gonna go for those slashes. Gonna go with the bite. And there you go. That's a kill. KDA stole the kill though. Wow. Why did you do that, man?
Why did you do that? Yeah, I get pissed when when a tank does that. It takes away your gold. But anyway.
Yeah, of course. Still, you're getting most of gold because you're a roamer. You got the gold still funnels towards yourself. But we got some ganky on the bot side. Curtain calls being popped, but it's not gonna be enough as it's gonna be Trice getting the kill towards that CC once again. Top lane. Oh, this Mia is definitely in trouble now. But look at the sustain coming in from Mia. But the Crow, the Synchro Vision will be the one to take out the Mia. Finally, Mia is with 0-1-1. She's working on like the Husk Claws or hopefully a Windtalker as well. But for now, Sama is just pressurizing the side of Vanishers, just giving the bite on the Sicilian once again. He might kind of kite it out, but yes, indeed. Look at that, going backwards.
It's pretty tilted at the moment. They can't do anything much from the side of Vanishers, so it'll be easy for them to just go through unless they give an opening to Team Blaze, right? Because look at them, they're just going in full in. They're not going to give late game because knowing that they have Sicilian on the other side, and also Mia, Mia becomes a monster. So I think this is going to be real quick.
Yeah, 3 items needed for Mia to actually start doing those one hell of a damage burst. So Mia is actually taking that Windtalker there. I mean, the best thing she could take now is either a Berserkers or maybe a Hasclaws, but then again, Team Blaze are so far ahead right now for 4k gold lead, presumably 5 you could say, but 11 kills so far for them, but it's just that they lost their top gold as well. Like the gold lane is just completely barren there. Tier 1 and Tier 1 has been over the top, and look at Sama here going for more. Nice.
Oh, Namicha going in. I was like, I was actually hoping to have more action, but yeah, they kind of like back off. So
yeah, just backing it off. I mean, like Team Vanishers, like they're not really together. They're gonna be the strongest when they're together because they have that. Oh, never mind. Look at the King's Calling doing something on the bot side. Could it be a double kill for Martin? Yes, indeed.
oh, look at that. So he's coming in. Strike's not going to leave that take, but I think Vortex is again extending too much. He's going in, but will he able to escape? No, he's not.
Yeah.
That's too much, right? He gets overextended.
Look at Sama coming in the back line though. You want to clean it up because no resources on the side of what the Vanishers so far because they used up all on Vortex. And then what the heck was that? Wow, quite greedy, my
Nobody
friend.
saw that.
Yeah,
Nobody
quite
saw
greedy,
that.
Sama. Very greedy. But yes, again, so far the Mistar did make a play on that tier 2 using that King's Calling to perfection, the most max potential, because he actually stopped 2 members of Blaze to basically fall apart on the tier 2. But more Sama.
Another extension coming in, but it seems like they have a strategy, very clean. It's very clear from the side of Blaze. They are going for that split. Banana. I was about to say banana split.
Banana split.
But Sama is taking no rest at all, one after the other. He's going full savage on that. Wait,
Winter
what is
Crown?
Franco going on? Yeah, Winter Crown. Like,
Wait, what? I mean,
yeah, he did.
that Franco is definitely out of position there. Even this Martin here, overstaying his welcome inside the tier 2 because if you don't have a Franco anymore, you just leave the turret, man. You don't trade kills, but it seems like Matcha here using the Bat Fizz as a flicker at the same time on the bot side. Well, on the top side, we got a double kill from Sama, but it seems like this Sicilian might fall again. But look at that Sky Piercer to top it off, and that's a wipe again. The first game, the first wipe, in all favor on the side of Blaze Squad as they pretty much take down the tier 2 once again. And then look at that, Sama wanna look for the inhibitor on the top side. It's only a Franco that's defending, so what can you do? This inhibitor is gonna be devoured by the strongest ninja.
Oh, yes, the strongest ninja is still alive yet, and he's proving it, right? But a little bit makeover. Double gamer finally shot
the karma. Damn, that Franco did know how, where the strongest ninja is gonna be at. That hook was perfection. It was enough to stop Sama from actually, rampaging around because getting that shutdown is definitely give more gold to the side of Vanishers. So for now, they don't have that jungler just yet, so they're gonna be waiting for the Lord, but still, Blaze, they still have this advantage, So they're not, Team Vanishers are not gonna go for full force just yet. They do have their jungler, there's a Suyu, but still, they have to they need like another more kill if they want to take this elemental.
Yeah, I mean with that Shadow thingy for Hanzo, I thought he was in the bush, wasn't he? It was so easy for him to, just be on the bush and summon out his clone, but no, I think it was very open call for him to just there anyway. This could be the final opening for Team
Oh.
Blaze, for Team Vanishers. Wait.
Somebody going a
I
little bit
think that
too
was a
far.
mistake.
But, the side of the team here, Team Blaze knows how to, deal with that. There's more. Something's
Beautiful
going to be happening.
people.
King calling. That is very good. But still, you're trading off with a 3-2. So not really sure about that. But still, you were able to take out Vortex and KDA. But then again, they still have the marksman as well. But Sama is just going to be cleaning up here. Let's look at that. Look at Sama with the Sky Piercer instead. Toe. But Tub is going to be the one to take it. And the Crystal Lock, indeed. And this could be the game one that we've been looking for to the side of Blaze Squad.
Wow, that was a very clean game from the side of Blaze, and congratulations to Team Blaze for moving forward to the next round. And to the MV, thank you so much for coming this far. Hope that you'll come back stronger in the next season. And with that, we will wrap that up for the first match of the night. On the mic, it's 9 and Bolty.
Catch you later.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Moba India Championship. And as we proceed on to the round robins, here we are today on this beautiful night. Joining you is Asya on the caster's desk, and none other than one of my best friends, Peachy.
Hello, Asya. It's a pleasure to be here, and I am excited to see this match. I have been seeing names, and yep, this is going to be definitely one of the interesting matches that we will be looking at tonight because we have the final equilibrium onto the blue side, and onto the red side, we have a Maka Magar match. That's definitely a unique name to pull in, but here we are. Which of the team is going to be proceeding towards the next team? Are you excited, Asia?
Well, yes, definitely, because, I really like crocodiles. Of course, just watching them through a screen, not close by. So, will our Team MKM will show us some wild gameplays, just like the wild animal crocodile is.
Yeah, that's true. Let's just wait and watch what will happen because the bands are pretty moving in quickly, and most of it are focused onto the assassins, the junglers. I am very, surprised to see that it is all assassins as of now. The Joy, the Fanny, the Suyu. I was expecting something like a Selena, maybe a Barang or maybe the Lucas, but that's not the case here.
I mean, PC, there are so many good picks right now. Like, what can you ban? Like, according to me, even 15 bans aren't enough, right? And just like you mentioned, Hayabusa also being banned out, it is the gold meta after all, and assassins are a good counter to just burst down those nasty gold laners. So maybe banning them out is a good option. But then the final two bans being the Hylos. So there's the Zushin. Well, I think Zushin is definitely a good ban in this scenario, but Padang in the Indian ML scene right now is a top tier pick. So do you think they will be picking up on the Padang, or will be they just baiting out that Padang and trading it off for something else?
Maybe that's the case. Maybe that's not the case. Let's just wait it out because Suki, he's one of a global marksman player here. He's known to play unconventional heroes such as Layla, and as much as I've known him, he does excels in it. Like it's surprising to see that you're just losing a lane against a Layla. So yeah, that's Suki for you guys. He picks up a Melissa as the first answer. Interestingly, I was expecting a Selena, maybe the Barang, but onto the other side, look at them. The classic Matilda pick. Now, Matilda is at her peak of her popularity. This was like few seasons ago. We did see the same. Now, again, we are seeing the same. So that is there. And she's of very good utility. Don't you think so, Asya?
Well, definitely, especially because if you go ahead and pick up some of those tanky picks, which are really famous right now, especially in the Rome, in the EXP, the Flex pick, Hylas, Katotkacha, all of these, like especially the Fredrin, which has been picked up from the side of Team Final Equilibrium, like it Batilda brings to the table a lot of utility, a lot of heals, shields, as well as that mobility which people are sorting, going after. And if you're, able to pick up those flex pick, those tanky junglers, those tanky roamers or EXP laners, you can make a good wall, a good kind of shield to your marksman. And considering this is the marksman meta, he can just get the space, he can get the farm to dish out that damage. And yes, if he's safe and sound, he can dish out as much damage as possible without considering the position, without being afraid that someone might go down and mark him.
That's the possible case right here because onto the side of team final equilibrium, they are moving towards that, the Fredrin. Now, he is a pick that was considered a tank pick, a tank jungler pick, and he's not popular anymore. There's a reason why because since we do have the Sky Piercer in town, in Land of Dawn, the meta just shifted from the tank meta to a assassin meta. So again, I want to see how it is going to be, how Overvoid is going to be comfortable around a Lucas who is onto the retribution along with the Barang coming in onto the EXP lane. Again, utility wise, Team Maka Magarmach do have it as their upper hand.
I mean, sure, they have the Badan, they have the Matilda, they have the Lucas. Three people, like two people who can lock people down with the continuous dance, which like they provide. At the same time, they have so much utility. They have so much sustain, especially towards the late game. The zoning potential is also great, and at the same time, Harriet he can get all the space he needs to dance around over that Zaman force. So really, Harriet centered draft, if you ask me. At the same time, Matilda if by chance Harriet is just caught onto something, he's not able to know he is in a precarious position. Matilda is there with the shields and with that guiding wind. And to top out, top it is a purifier on the Harriet, so he can just, the amount of CC, the side of final equilibrium, the Aurora, the Kacha who can dive in, the Ruby with I am offended has. He can, if played well, if played carefully and timed right, it can be completely on his favor.
Oh my, what a match do we have in our hands? This is something of a comfort hero versus a meta heroes coming in. Again, even with the comfort heroes, if the team does have synergy, they can pull through. So that's one thing that we have to look out for because into the land of dawn, the surprises are endless, the limitless, and you don't know what could be happening. So that's the case. And top of that, Luo E coming in, one of my favorite heroes, and yeah, I think Deadly will be the one showing us why she is one of my favorite. But other than that, the draft is up, and according to the draft, Asuya, what do you think? Which team has that upper hand that they can win?
Well, if you ask me, well, before that, ladies and gentlemen, here we are into the land of dawn, and this is the best of one between Team Final Equilibrium on the blue side and Team MKM on the red side. And yes, answering Peachy, both the drafts look really good to me because Melissa as well as Harriet both have top tier gold lane picks right now, especially Melissa after the rose gold bass. She can sustain quite a lot, and even though she is heavily inspired dependent marksman, but that's all she really needs because the entire team can be there for the support. There is the Gazelkacha and there is also the Fredrin Ruby as well as our Aurora providing so much CC, so much crowd control that she just needs a minute to melt down everything, capitalize on everything.
That could be the case right here, or maybe not. I am curious to know, but other than that, I wanted to see the Matilda and the Selena combo coming in since we do have the Zenith skin, which was released, and it matches very well with the Matilda. That fairy tale theme that Matilda got with her skin, along with the Selena. I wanted to watch that, but that's not the case today. It's okay. Maybe in the next match we might be looking at that, but a little bit of pressure into the middle lane is going to be there.
I mean, yeah, both teams just playing it safe for now. Do not want to give those early bad bloods. Do not want to engage in the early. But look at Rio. He's charging out, looking for some taunt, looking for a G, and here comes the face crack and the frigid glacier right there. The freeze is coming in. The revitalize hasn't popped up, looking to take down the first blood. Will it be Rio who overextended? What a beautiful engage right there. Carefully baited out PG.
Agreed. Four people onto one, that's definitely harsh, but it was Rio who was there in a very dicey position. He was blood right here. With that team MKM, they definitely got that little bit of a advantage into their hands since Gatotkacha is the one not getting level 4 as of now. While we are looking at Overvoid, look at him.
I mean, yep, they are still looking for the exchange Karukacha as well with the taunt right there, Matilda. And here comes that beautiful I am offended on the two people. Limitless will be grabbing onto that retribution. Here comes the ultimate from the Fredrin along with the circling eagle. Okay, I do see a diversion right there on spot, the frigid glacier, but of course, no one followed up from behind. The fight is still going on. The Ring Yang reactions dishing so much damage right now. Deadly, actually being really deadly in all those team fights.
Now, Deadly, he is giving up his yin and yang combo, but is it enough? As of now, no. but into the mid game to the late game. Now, when he stacks up onto the cooldown reduction, that's where the fun is going to start for this Loi. But at the same time, Rec 69. He is there with his stuns. He is there to bring the cold into the land of dawn. So that is something that they need to be aware of. But okay, top lane.
Okay, I think Garrett might be in some situation right there, but of course he's playing it safe. The rest of the team also following up from behind might be looking for one chance to shut that Harriet down because you really do not need a late game monster like the Harriet to just, get the gold. Okay, the diversion coming in. Matilda with Sucking Eagle. Melissa goes behind with her ultimate, trying to sustain a UTD, dropping down onto 4 people. The Revitalize hasn't popped up along with that Salmon Force. RPs unleashed in the land of none, but Limitless will be taken down as, that beautiful crowd control from the Gadot Gacha really came in clutch right there, PG.
Oh my, what a turn of events, 1-for-1 score as of now, but Limitless will be the one taken down. That is something that they were not expecting, but they got it. They got it definitely into their hands. And with that, the turtle is up. Now, the turtle is something that both the teams wanted, the objectives, but top lane, no, Melissa.
I really thought the Harriet would be taken away in that team fight because the way he was taunted away and the way he baited them, and still he was the one taking out the Melissa. And that just shows how much heavy equipment dependent she is currently. But then again, we do see the AOTD dropping down, but of course, Limitless capping on to that turtle. The rest of the team might look for some engages, but wouldn't be a wise choice as for now.
Agreed. A team onto the side of Team Final Equilibrium, they are quite dependent onto the Gatot Kacha as of now. Gatot Kacha with the Aurora, they have to make a set for the team. And Team NKM, they are focused on giving a very good team fight. Look at them swarming up. We do see the diversion coming in, but at the same time, this will be a little bit of defensive play coming in from both the sides.
I mean, true, and our Matilda might be in a clutch situation, getting that freeze. Okay, managed to move away the fist crack, but our CC Immune Badang with his ultimate. Just look at the rest of the team. Fredrin in a clutch situation, Eldorado will be taken down, but the rest of the team following up with the Revitalize. Gadot Kacha once again making those plays, and look at the damage from Suki right now with the Inspire. Lui already behind the scenes, cannot get away from the taunts and cannot help their goal later right there. Harriet taken down, 4 members taken down. Will it be a complete wipeout? The Yin Yang reaction coming out, looking for some clutch plays right there. But of course, it will not be enough as yet. She is to build up that enchanted talisman and that CD reduction.
Oh my, Rio, that was a very close call for him because he was almost there into the yin and yang reaction. But there we go, the fight does move on to the middle lane while the middle lane focus is up.
The freeze is there, the Frigid Glacier is there, looking to grab on to the first turret. The diversion just coming up to just clear up those lanes. At the same time, Badang is just trying to capitalize on the absence of the explainer. They're looking for the macro control right now because that one team fight was really deadly for them. Like 3 extra kills and the gold lead in the hands of Team Final Equilibrium, but they might go in for the Aurora, taking a lot of damage. She doesn't have the Pride of Ice yet, but the next turtle of the game, PJ.
The turtle is up. Now this is going to be a interesting one because the last turtle, or maybe they just want to move ahead with a little bit of but into the bot lane. I do see the Ruby getting attacked ferociously, but they have to go in for the turtle, okay?
Diversion, look at the diversion coming in, and the I am offended, still surviving in a clutch situation right there, but she still manages to escape from the fireman assault. The turtle in the hands of Team Blue right now, and Melissa with her puppets. Look at the damage she is doing, and the Inspire. The Frigid Glacier actually not connecting on to anyone, but that was a very bad trade. Couldn't get the first tier from the bot, and couldn't get the turtle either. And with that, they're still looking for the exchange. Look at the damage coming in from the Aurora, trying to poke up, and Fredrin doing an amazing job as a frontliner she is, and the I am offended, but then no one gets to grab onto it. They're still looking to zone them away, and Harriet might be in a bad situation. That's something he shouldn't have done without his team trying to make it the TikTok plays of 1 versus 5, but of course it is an early game. Harriet, you're not even in the early, do not have gold.
Oh my, into the middle lane also I do see something going on. The Matilda coming up with the circling eagle, but it was very defensive. Again, they need to make sure that they are not losing any more members because the middle lane focus is up.
Well, true. They are just. To me, just look at the offensive coming from side. Okay, that beautiful I'm offended. The AOTG dropping down as a follow up. What a beautiful team fight right there. And team final equilibrium showing how good they are. Of course, the recall turn because they are in the forefront right now. 5k gold lead onto their hands, PG.
That is something that I was not expected, given the fact that the early game, you're talking about the first 2 minutes of the game, it was the final equilibrium who were losing. They were trying to put the team fight, but they were unable to do so. And we did see how Vitutkacha was the first blood there, so that was proven a disadvantage. But they have turned the tides. Look at them try to go in for more, but it will be
Okay,
the first crack coming in.
yep, and with that pretty glacier, and just look at that, it will be the Lucas will be taken down once again, and not having the best time of the life. Haven't forced used up just to dash away from those team fights, and Revitalize is always there to secure the life. The AOTT dropping down, I do not think that the Pazanoki manages to just dash it away, but Harriet once again in a very, very bad situation. Why is this guy?
Oh.
Leave that turret be, oh my god. Meanwhile, we do see that Suki was taken down in the top lane.
That was a good diversion play, a minor diversion play coming in from a Deadly this time, but at that case, they will be losing this lot. Even though they don't have Suki, they still have enough damage to take it down all by themselves. Now, middle lane, the tier 3 turrets are all down. They have to make sure they go in for the tier 2s very, very soon. But on to the other hand, NKM are doing their best to save as much as possible. Now, this all depends on to the lane sync. If team final equilibrium get a good lane sync, I believe they can reach up to the inhibitors, maybe or possibly taking down one or the two inhibitors. And if they do, that is such a great advantage into their hands.
I mean, definitely, and just look at Melissa hasn't even gone in for the boots. That's how secure she feels among the teams, among her companions right now, and she has the highest gold, 7k right there, doing a great job. But then again, the question is, Matilda, okay, with the circling eagle, trying to shut some damage onto Suki, trying to just look at the Lucas, trying to just go in, but the ultimate is there to defend herself, and with that void, trying to defend the marksman, the rest of the team with the follow-ups. The AOTG once
Oh.
again, what a beautiful AOTG right there. The rest of the team following up from behind. That's what you really want. And the Frigid Glacier not actually connecting on to anyone, but of course it will be the Louis. Deadly will be taken down, so no more deadly plays from his side. Meanwhile, Badang just trying to, take away that Lord, drain its HP away, and with that final equilibrium on the offensive, taking down those turrets one by one.
Look at them. They did reach up to the inhibitors, but unable to get a very good lane sync. But at the same time, all the tier 2 turrets are gone. That is definitely a great advantage into their hands. But at the same time, they could get a push onto the top lane. Will they be successful though? Because Suki.
Okay, the circling is coming in once again. Suki actually in the tight spot and will be cut out on that fist crack. Look at how beautiful those fist cracks are. And it might be a Nuno reverse in those team fights. The Revitalize saving them up. Aruna trying to make some plays right there, but he will be wrecked as Wreck will no longer be in those team fights. Ruby is the only... Okay, Ruby might next be on the chopping block. She is all alone. Might not be a good situation for her. Trying to sustain has a lot of spell vamp as for now. Has the brute force. Cannot be CC'd much enough. Okay, she's still sustaining within those three people. Louis finally coming up. This might be the last lane on the coffin, and she's all the way from the top lane. Void is there for the help. The taunts are there. The AOTs are dropping down, and it will be Lucas who will take down Ruby. But then again, Lucas will be traded off. The diversion used up as a defensive man with the rest of the team all left alone. 2 versus 2. They're trying to move away, and with that, the team fight, which was overextended for such a long time, comes to an end.
Ain't no way they did just gave up a 4v2 situation. Team NKM, I don't know why they did their diversion play that was quite unnecessary, but at the same time, that was a easy time to take down Overworld. He was low in HP. He was in kind of a a bad situation given the fact that they were onto his back a lot. But this is something, if they could have taken them down with, this would be a very easy load for them given the fact that they are still onto the losing end with the gold, with almost 4,000 gold difference that we are looking at.
I mean, definitely, but look at the diversion right from behind. Aurora will be on the top and lock, will be taken down. The AOTG along with the frigid glacier seizing everyone. Suki grabs onto that opportunity with the Inspire, taking that double kill. Will it be a triple for her? She's still sustaining. Lucas trying to shout a lot of damage, but will not be enough. But of course, Overvoid will be grabbing onto that last hit. Meanwhile, look at our Weisker trying to zone away the Loi as well as the Matilda. And that team fight was just heavily favored on the side of team, the blue team. The one AOTG was all it took to just take it away from them.
Oh my, look at them. The inhibitors are down. The inhibitors are going down very quickly, while the crucial members who are there to clear all those minions are missing. As of now, few seconds left to them to spawn, and they are here. But oh, Ruby.
And look at the damage once again from the Suki ultimate hasn't popped up, but okay, Fist Crack will not be used up as the ultimate is there for the defense, but the Flicker combo on the Fist Crack, the teams are taking so much damage and almost will be taken down, and blue team falling down left and right. Just look at them, the final march of the minions. Matilda is the only one remaining, of course cannot do anything, doesn't have the lane clear, doesn't have the defensive maneuvers she really needs. Try to play it safe, but then of course a perfect victory in the hands of Team Final Equilibrium.
Oh my god. What a match coming in. I was surprised that the Suki was on a Inspire rather than a Flicker, which is which was a viable option there. But Suki, he did rely on his dash skill more than he could have taken a Flicker. That was a very refreshing to see. But at the same time, I was very skeptical about, this Lucas. There were times that we seen into the team fights that the Lucas was not able to sustain. The Lucas was the one who was creating problems, but team a final equilibrium. This is rised up.
Well, yes, definitely. And the way they controlled the entire team fight, I really loved that end team fight though, where the diversion was just locking down the Aurora because, of course, she was being a clutch. She was being the bone of contention with those freezes. But then the sad part about it is that she, before dying, she ended up using the frigid glacier. Gave the entire team a few moments for that AOTG to connect, to split them apart, and way our Fredrin as well as the Garud Kaja were just zoning the Louis away because the team was heavily dependent on the Harith as well as the Louis for those engages, for those damages. But then again, Louis was getting zoned away. Harith definitely couldn't do anything. He was playing it very aggressive. The positioning was very bad. And just like I said, making those 5-man TikTok plays when you are so low on the gold.
Yeah, that was the case right here. And with that, let's dive into a short break. But don't worry, the action will be continuing. Let's just wait for the next match to be happening.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Moba India Championship. And this is day 15, round 4. And today on the caster's desk, it is me, Asaya, who will be accompanied by Pichi. So, Pichi, how are you today? Which teams do we have on the roster?
Hello, Asia. Hello, everyone. I hope you guys are doing well. And talking about the teams, one of the top teams in India coming up, taking on the underdogs. Look at that, Lafukabi, Megatron Lafukabi onto the side of red and Armageddon
Good evening,
Esports.
ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Moba India Championship. And this is day 15, round 4. And today on the caster's desk, teams do we have on the roster?
Hello, Asia. Hello, everyone. I hope you guys are doing well. And talking about the And look at that, the draft is already on. We are talking about team Megatron Lafukabi onto the red side, and we have Armageddon Esports onto the blue side. Now, Armageddon Esports, I have seen them already in few of the tournaments, and they are definitely the rising underdogs here. But Megatron Lafukabi, they don't need any introduction. Look at them. Look like we are looking at a little bit of a lineup changes coming up, or maybe they have changed their in-game name. I'm not sure, but let's just wait how they are going to play around.
Well, definitely one of the top 20 teams in India, La Fukabi, on the roster today. And the ban phase is also as expected, PG. We have Badang, we have CC, one of the queens. Earlier it was the king who was Terizla Gardner. Now we have a queen of the XP, which is CC, can do so much one versus one and can do a bit better in those team fights if she manages to grab onto two people behind the scenes. And it's so easy to just go dive behind the scenes because she can even use her second skill on her allies. So you really do not need to see a creep, a minion, or even the enemy. You can use up your own allies to use up that dash from the second skill.
Oh, that is definitely the case right here. But moving ahead on to Megatron Lafukabi, they are making very fast bans right here. Harrod being prioritized. The Selena is still open, the Kacha is still open, but Bronze Boy goes in for that. The high loss, okay, that's truly interesting to see given the fact that the Julian is still open, the Suyu was open, and they could have prioritized the same.
Definitely, Suyo is a good option for the jungler here, but then again, since there is a flex pick or high loss with a revitalize, if he goes for the XP, pitting him up against a glue or even a Hilda can be a good option, but then again, Alpha, I think, could have done a better job because he does deal a lot of true damage and can help melt those high HP tanks, just like the Hylos right there. And at the same time, they have picked up the Granger. He is a top tier gold lane pick, but then maybe picking up a carry could have done them better. Let's just see what they go for, PG. So many picks are yet to be picked up.
Agreed. You know, since they closed up the Harrod, they wanted to be make sure that the Granger does not get any problem on his lane. But one problem is still open, and yep, that's what I was talking about. The Erythel, good counter and number one counter that we are talking about. So yep, that is getting picked, but the challenges never end. Look at them, Lafokabi coming in with a Gatotkacha. I wanted to see the Gatotkacha in the side of Team Armageddon esports, but that's not the case today.
Well, let's see what he goes for. They are flex picks after all. But right now, if we do look at the draft, Granger is a really great marksman. But right now, just like you mentioned, he will be facing a hard time against an Erythel, especially towards the late game. She is a beast of the late game and can, always reposition herself with the ultimate dash, with the basic attacks. So, even the AOTG, if Argatotkacha tries to lock down onto the Erythel, it will be quite hard. Not to mention, Hayabusa has so much mobility, he can just use up those squad shadows to move around the map. So it will be a hard time for Garutkacha to actually catch on to anyone. Meanwhile, from the side of Team Armageddon, they do have a Hylos who will be a wall a very hefty wall in front of those Tetsunaras, which will be, just shot up from the Granger. So just like I said, maybe Granger was not a good option here. At the same time, Sue is good as a jungler, can go ahead and steal stuff, can make those plays, but you really need that early game snowball for themselves. So Lafukabi, maybe the last two picks might be something which have a really good dominance in the early game, because you really want that snowball and give Suyo the early game potential he needs.
And there's one more thing that I wanted to put out, that the Granger is definitely a very good pick right here, but so you can immune the ultimate, so that's one thing. And giving the ultimate to the Gatot Kacha, not a viable option right there. Yes, he can reach up to the Granger from the back lanes, but there's going to be so much protection around this Granger. So this is going to be a challenge for the side of Team Armageddon Esports, because they have to make sure that they take down the front laners, such as this uh, Gatot Kacha. But again, there's quite a possibility that we can see that the Gatot Kacha will be on EXP, and Team Megatron Lafu Kabi can go in for another tanky pick.
Well, they really need that early, and Selena being one of the best earlies in the game. So, and at the same time, Peach, Valentina is yet to be grabbed on by anyone. And if the side of Team Armageddon just grab onto the Valentina in the mid, they will be having a perfect counter against the Lucas. Well, yes, there it is. That's what I was thinking all along. Perfect counter for Lucas. Spam that ultimate, can take up that AOTGs. And if Lafukabe going for the Selena, Valentina just have the full set of her skills. Just use it up and stun anyone you want.
Wow. What a plethora of heroes that we are looking at. Valentina, highly unexpected. And Lucas, yes, looks like we are getting Lucas onto the EXP. That means Noor will be the one onto the Rome. Now, this gives a lot of room for the Granger to farm in. This definitely gives even the Suyu to get his damage output onto the battlefield very quickly. The AOG will be something that we will be looking out for. But other than that, the Selena, this I wanted the Selena pick coming in finally into this game. We are looking at the same.
Well, she does look really pretty in that Zenith skin. So if you're in the tournament lobby, do make sure you try her out, especially with the buffs. And with that, all the drafts are set in motion. And just like you mentioned, Granger does have a lot of space to farm, but then again, there will be Hayabusa diving onto him. There will be Hylos trying to dive onto him with the Chorus pathway. And so, our Valentina, of course, with the AOTGs, with Lucas's ultimate, she can zone people really, really hard. So right now, Granger, I think, might be in a tight situation, considering Valentina can take the entire three set of skills from our Selena. That's another thing you need to look out for, because right now both the drafts look to be really strong. So, Peachy, what do you think? Who, I did ask you which draft do you like more?
Talking about the draft team, Megatron Lafukabi, I am leaning towards them. One, they have a little bit of an early game. The mid game is also set. But onto the other side, Team Armageddon Esports, they are not solely, but most likely playing around counters. If they have went in for 50% counters, 50% of comfort plays, that could have been a very good case right here, but that's not the case. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, let me welcome you into the land of dawn. You guys are watching the around 4 day 15 of the MIC champion, MIC. With that, Team Armageddon Esports onto the blue. Look at the Franco going in.
Well, he might land. Okay. He could have used up some vision right there. That was a waste of a resource. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Valentina just getting, bullied by the two people right there. At the same time, the Franco pick here actually makes sense, Peachy, since there is, our at the same, like, just look at them, just look at the Hylos though. He has the ring of punishment, can slow people down, and Franco can just go ahead and suppress the Lucas. One of the perfect counters. Just like you mentioned, the side of Team Armageddon has a lot of counters, a lot of anti red team play right there, but Valentina, sorry, or Selena with some plays trying to provide some vision. Not much is happening. Both the teams looking to play some bit of a poking, but overall a bit of a safe gameplay.
The team Armageddon Esports, they have to play around the iron hooks a lot. And that is going to be the case right here. And if they don't get it right, the Franco, that's this going to be a little bit of a dicey situation. But onto the other hand, I do see JJ 444N already waiting it out. Will he be successful though? But onto the other hand, he doesn't have any backup.
Okay, the hook does connect, but he needs to make sure that there is someone around him. Meanwhile, in the top lane, we are already seeing some engages right there. Look at the damage coming in. Super Wet will be the first one who will be taken down in this land of dawn. And just like I mentioned, the early from a high loss is really strong. Valentina and early game mage, Hayabusa, one of the mage, assassins, really dependent on the snowball. Same goes for the Suyo.
God Danger FF. Subscribe to the channel.
Look at them. Early game is definitely into the hands of Team Megatron Lafukabi, but they gave up their first blood. That was quite unexpected. But on the other hand, let's just wait and watch what will be happening because the turtle is up.
Yes, look at the dance coming in and the damage taken up by Valentina trying to move away the glorious pathway. But the trap from the Selena used up as a defensive maneuver and God Shadow Hayabusa just dancing around, showing some moves right there. Okay, the dance onto the Franco. Might be the first blood, the flicker baited away and here comes the Nine-Tail Beast trying to take down Noor and misses up. The range of his ultimate isn't enough. The stun coming in from Selena doesn't have that CD reduction as yet and it will be Suyo taken down. Meanwhile, finally, the suppression coming in from JJ444 and with that 3 kills in the hands of Team Armageddon, making use of the potential they have in the early. Hayabusa might go in for some steals from some kills. Okay, the stun connecting right there. That was a very bad situation. Valentina, so our Beast Tail, he's trying to make some plays, but of course it isn't enough.
What is happening? Armageddon Esports, they have the early game presence and they are going in very aggressive with that. I am surprised to see, given the fact that it is the side of Team Megatron Lafukabi who does have that little bit of an upper hand with the early game. So, yep, they are trying to play the weight game as of now. They already are on a deficit with the kills. And talking about the gold, not much difference, but it is just the early game. Now the Lord is not the Lord, but the turtle. The next turtle is going to be something of an interesting play. And Super Wet, he's not able to get his abyssal arrow right.
I mean, yes, the only problem with Selena is if you're able to land up those arrows, and even if you do, there is a high loss who will be stunning you, who will be slowing you down. So very, very risky maneuver if you try to jump in for those kills. At the same time, they have a lot of CC. Okay, then look at the beautiful hook connecting along with the bloody hunt and Granger. Okay, manages to go away in 1 HP, and here comes the high loss with the clutch gameplay. Will be taking him down, and with that, the AOTG not connecting onto anyone though. The revitalize used up just to defend themselves. Another AOTG from Noor this time, and with that behind the scenes, finally there is some backup. Look at Suyo trying to grab onto those kills, and the Beast is also there. I think that was too much of an overextension though. Bronze Boy still making those plays, grabbing the last 2 hits onto those people. The stun connected, he was dead either way, but then the stun did connect onto him. So pretty fair trade. What do you think, BG?
Yep, that's right about it. 2-for-2 trade. Talking about Megatron Lafukabi gaining up a little bit of advantage with that flank. Suyu came in perfectly at the last moment. I want to see the Suyu getting a play like that, but the abyssal arrow did strike there.
Manages to connect. Okay, finally Selena making those plays which you really want to see from her. At the same time, the first turtle of the game onto the match right there. Both the teams looking for the control. Hyla zoning people away. Theory, the OTG dropping down by Noor, and Ito kind of clash right there, but Charlie will be grabbing on to that retribution gameplay, but damage coming in, the suppression from the Franco with the flicker, the first kill, chaining them down. Noor will be next on the chopping block, as even though they did secure the turtle, they did, gave up a lot of life for that.
Not a good trade. Definitely not a good trade into the hands of Team Megatron Lafukabi, because The other one's losing. The turrets left and right, look at them. Mid lane already gone. The bot lane is already gone as well. Mid lane being one of the most important turrets, look at them.
Okay, that Valentina really needs to, make sure that her positioning is good because Selena is making those gameplays right there. And at the same time, if you do see most of the time, Team Armageddon, only the marksman, only Irithel is the one who's playing it safe. The rest of the team, especially the Franco as well as the Valentina, they're so good. They're like, no one can catch us. I'll just stay alone in the front.
Oh my. Team Megatron love Fugabi. They are on a deficit right here. Look at them dodging the arrow. Is it something that they need as a AoE? Because I do feel like the AoE damage is lacking onto their side. So that might be the case right here. But Rhoda with the Valentine pick, it is actually coming in very well for them.
Well, yes, definitely. And the taunt coming in from Noor getting stunned right there along with the revitalize just to use up the AOTG dropping down and so much CC onto the hands. Noor in a very bad situation. Ryota will be grabbing onto that kill. But meanwhile, this Hylos is doing such a great job right now. Only 7 minutes, but he is stacking up so much. Doing so much slow with the ring of punishments and the follow-up from the Valentina are pretty good. Okay, the two stuns connecting on to Franco. Will it be a chopping block? He will be taken down. Just look at her, Valentina, so brave, trying to go it alone. Okay, here comes the marksman for the backup, but of course, that they will just be backing off because they do not have the front laners as per now.
You know, Selena and Franco are two of the same kind of heroes. Like, if your hook and your arrow does connect in, you can make a play, and if you don't, you cannot make a play. That's one thing that need to be looked about. But Biddy, on the other hand, will he be able to get the retribution right this time?
The Solaro connecting. Look at the CC from our Ninetale Beast right there. The zoning is pretty good. And Selena stun connecting onto Valentina, but she is in a tight situation. The ultimate from Hayabusa trying to grab onto that one kill, but that's way too far enough. And you do not even need that Hayabusa because the soul damage, the soul zoning created by the Hylos at this point is so immense. I mean, just look at him. Like already with the Thunderbelt and the Dreadnought armor and the elegant gem, the way he gets his HP back, he is a monster, not giving even a bit of a chance for Lafukawi to go dive into the back line, especially to, take down the Urithel.
That was a lot of resources coming in, but at the same time, Team Lafukabi are the ones who are losing those turrets one by one. Now, this is definitely not a great news for them. But at the same time, they need to come up with the damage. Now, talking about the itemization as well, they are a little behind. Though both of the teams do have two of the main items. Oh, the Abyssal Arrow did strike in on Ryota apart. This is what the high loss is for. Do you see how much HP he still has, and he still can protect the Valentina from getting slain?
And definitely, this is what I was talking about. Hylos definitely one of the best picks this season, and Selena needs to think twice before she wants to go and make those plays, wants to go in and dive in, because there's so much anti-dive in the hands of Team Armageddon. Just making sure that the Selena can't dive in, that the Luke is just suppressed with his ultimate, and even the Suyo cannot dive in because he is good with those dashes. So because there is a stun, there is the suppression which you really do not want, and extra stuns from the Valentinas because she's always copying that AOTG.
Mm-hmm. And one more thing is a team Megatron La Fukabi, they still have a chance for comeback, if they do play it out like 5 members like this.
Okay, look at the shadows and the damage from Hayabusa. Manages to grab away the 2 AOTGs onto the scene. Looks really beautiful. 1 red, 1 golden. And with that golden time for Team Armageddon right now, grabbing onto that 1 kill, a 0 for 1 trade. Easy lot for them.
You're talking about the level 1 lot going into their hands. Now, they did make sure to take down the crucial members right there. Now, the Selena is not able to do much right here, but still has a very good score. But other than that, they are trying to pull through there. That snowball that the Suyu wanted did not, and it is not into his hands. So, yep, naturally he is going in for the split pusher, taking away a little bit of gold into their hands, making sure that they get that farm onto their hands. But look at that onto the top lane. I do see the pressure coming in.
I mean, just look at the wall. Those two tanks, the way they're standing in front, they're like, come if you can, dive in if you can, you will not leave alive. And that's what I was talking about right from the draft. The side of Team Armageddon, they have a high loss, so it kind of sets off the Granger unless it gets the zone to make some flank plays. But then there's so much stun, there's so much CC, there's so much sustain onto their hands that they cannot do anything but defend right now. And the Lord is marching down, and Hylos is looking for the stuns, trying to bait out everything, and he's doing his job perfectly. And look at the Valentina with the AOTGs dropping down, and of course it will be the Hayabusa grabbing onto that kill with his Wiggy shadows, and yet it will not be enough. And it will be another kill onto their hands, and the rest of the
Oh,
team, the Lord also grabbing onto that base. Okay, will it be a final clear wipeout as 5 members will be taken down? And of course the recall taunt right there. They have it easy for the draft.
what just happened? Oh my god. That was such an unexpected match to coming in. Even though Megatron Lafugabi were the ones trying to match up the score, the gold, but unfortunately they couldn't do the same. Now, again, the Gatut Kacha and the Lucas, they were almost the same HP, and the Lucas is actually known as the tankiest fighter who can deal so much damage. But I did feel like he was hesitating a lot because there was this threat from Irithel, plus Ryota was the one coming in from the AOG every single time. So I feel like that was the times where they couldn't get their damage out onto their face just because they couldn't play it very aggressively.
I mean, this is the power of a very good draft. And yeah, they had big counter picks for everything. I really believe, Granger couldn't do anything like I mentioned before because there was too much dive in from their side. Like there was the Gadot Kacha who would dive in, there was the Lucas who would dive in, there was Suyo who needs the snowball, plus he really needs to, clean like sweep off everything. With the Suyo, maybe a burst or composition could have done better, then again, a carry could have done better in this situation because he could melt down the Hylas and the two tanks they really had. But anyway, I congratulate for the team and of course Team Armageddon for that beautiful victory, all golds, looking really shiny, looking really good. So PG, this is the last game of the day, right?
Yep, I feel like this is the last game, but let's just I'll take a break, and yep, this is the last game.
Guys, let's go with spinning. Let's spend time. Give me 1 minute. ठीक है चलो. ठीक है चलो, let's go. जल्दी से गेम आईडी सर्वर आईडी दे दूँ. Come on. स्ट्रीम पे है ये. I guess he's not there. AFK है क्या? Should I respin? Should I respin? No name. Wait, he is in toilet. आपको कैसे पता he is in toilet? ना wait 1 minute. वो 1 मिनट रुको. मैं 5 गिव के लिए 1 मिनट. मतलब 5 मिनट हर एक बंदे के लिए रुकना पड़ेगा. I mean 5 बंदों के लिए 5 मिनट तक रुकना पड़ेगा. ऐसा ही क्या? I guess it's done. 20 seconds का काउंटडाउन था. मैंने 1 में कर लिया. Let's remove this. Paris spin. Congratulations to the winner. Give me your game ID and server ID. चालू. Give me your game ID and server ID. 2. अब स्ट्रीम पे है आई गेस. मैं देखा था. Nice. Thank you for your game ID and server ID. Really appreciate that. Wait. किधर है? 1 मिनट. हाँ छोड़ो, ये बाद में करते हैं ये चीज़. नाउ आई कैन ऐड क्या? ठीक है. आज क्या डेट है? व्हाट इज़ द डेट? आज डेट हो गया है 15. 15. रुक जाओ यार, ये बाद में करती हूँ मैं. बहुत भसड़ हो जाएगी. 1 बना शीट में बाद में डाल देंगे हम. ठीक है. चलो लेट्स गो. इनका नाम निकाल देती हूँ. चलो Congratulations हायाबुसा 2 आईडी दो। Thank you. Congratulations, really appreciate that. चलो let's go with 3 more spins and then end करेंगे हम। Let's go. जल्दी 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 गाइस जल्दी करो जल्दी भाई मुझे थोड़ा रैंक पुश भी करना है लेजिट रैंक पुश नहीं हो रही है जल्दी दो दिया क्या सिर्फ प्लीज ऐड माय वाह भाई वाह भाई वाह वाह भाई वाह वाह भाई वाह 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 क्या सीन है गाइस जो लोग जब मैच चल रहा था जो लोग स्ट्रीम पे थे उनका नाम ही ऐड है जो अभी अभी आके बोल रहे हैं कि हमारा नाम ऐड करो उनका नाम मैं ऐड नहीं कर सकती कि जो लोग स्ट्रीम देख रहे थे उनका नाम ऐड हुआ था सो जो अभी आके नाम दे रहे हैं उनका हम नहीं ऐड कर सकते इट्स अ स्ट्रिक्ट रूल गाइस आई कांट डू एनीथिंग ओके ये थर्ड विनर हो गया 2 more spins remaining then let's go okay 2 more spins remaining let's go दिया आई कांट वो आई नहीं टाइम पे मैं क्या कर सकती हूँ बताओ जब मैं इतने देर तक वेट कर रही हूँ उनको पता होना चाहिए स्ट्रीम पे होना चाहिए मैं क्या करूँ अभी वो एफ के थे नाना प्लीज वो पहले जीता था बट था नहीं सो ऐड हिम बैक ना या तो क्या सीन है क्या करना है जो बंदा एफ के था उसको कैसे अभी दूँ मैं है क्या डीसी पे ठीक है ना माइंड में लास्ट वाला बंदा उनको ही ऐड कर लूँगी कोई सीन नहीं है इट्स ओके जो एफ के था उनको दे देंगे अभी वाला भी एफ के है क्या इट्स ओके आई विल ऐड यू 111 वैसे भी मेरे को जल्दी ख़त्म करना है और एंड करना है ये स्ट्रीम आई गेस दिस वन इज़ ऑल्सो एफ के तो इसकी जगह पे मुझे इनका दे दो आईडी ओके इन्होंने दे दिया है ओके ग्रेट 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 I got it. Thank you for your game ID and server ID. And you also give me your game ID and server ID 111. बंद करते हैं फिर. Let's go. Let's go. Fourth winner. You also give me your game ID and server ID. चलो. Let's end this. दो जल्दी दो 111. Give me your game ID जल्दी. Let's go जल्दी. What the fuck क्या हो गया what the fuck नाना इज माय लकी चार्म अरे सिर्फ गेम आईडी दे रहे हो गेम सर्वर आईडी पिंकी जी वाई हायाबुसा विनिंग आई डोंट नो मुझे नहीं पता गाइस मैं कुछ मिठाई नहीं खाई हूँ लाइक ऐसे किसी के साथ मेरा वो नहीं है पार्टनरशिप रही है आई डोंट नो हाउ भाई ये क्या सीन है तुम गेम आईडी ऊपर दे रहे हो सर्वर आईडी नीचे दे रहे हो मैं एक एक उठा के अभी कलेक्ट करूँ क्या एक साथ में गेम आईडी सर्वर आईडी दे दो ना भाई. What is this? Shush. Hey भगवान. Copy. Paste. सर्वर आईडी. भाई कितनी मेहनत करवाते हो. Like legit. माँ कसम. Shish. चलो ठीक है. Done with giveaway. Let's end the live stream. See you guys tomorrow. तब तक के लिए bye bye. Good night. मेरा stream नहीं end हो रहा है, so please stay there. Right now, after ending this stream, I will go for rank push. So bye guys. Good evening. नहीं ऐसा कुछ नहीं है bye. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है bye. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. चलो ठीक है guys. Bye bye. Good night. Sweet dreams. Take care.